Okay, okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, engaged people. Welcome to Friday night. Thank you very much for such a night. You have spared your times to listen to me. And because of the go to the webinar system, probably I cannot be able to hear you. But there is a chat option you can see here. And please write hello or something, and let's try it. Meanwhile. But you can send your questions simultaneously when I'm doing the presentation, and so that Eva can read it after the end of the slides. Is that clear for everyone, Eva?
I hope so. I can hear you, and I'm trying to unmute the others, but I'm not so. Okay.
Okay. So let's start our presentation here. And I want to also clear this one to. Okay, so here is the engage of slides on how to create and submit an abstract for the patient seminar at the ESGO conference. This topic is really very important because for the first time in the ESGO history, we will be able to present some posters and show our initiatives or show our studies to the all scientific people coming around the world, approximately 3,000 people. And your posters, if once accepted, will also be published in a very prestigious journal, which is the International Journal of Gynaecological Cancers. And before starting, I want to thank to Karina Dahl Stefansson from Denmark, Iko and Simona also, because they have prepared this slides, but because of the agenda of Karina, it became my duty to make the presentation. Okay, now today what we will discuss is we have a meeting, and there is for the first time in our history there's an opportunity that engaged members has the chance, to submit their initiatives or their works to the Congress. So let's start how it happens. So this is the agenda of today. So we will first see what is an abstract, and then we will go step by step on how to write an abstract. So these are the specific sections of an abstract. So we will go one by one. And at the end, I will show you the ESGO system, abstract submission system, so that you will, once you finish your paper, you will be able to submit it online. So what is an abstract? So briefly, I do some studies now in my clinic, and I prepare a summary of my study and the available results, and then I prepare an abstract and submit to the Congress. And then the Congress attendee sees that, oh, there is a study like this in Turkey, in this hospital, done by these authors. So you actually make your advertisement, and you actually inform the people about your initial results. So for any academic people, getting a paper accepted for any academic conferences, you need to write an abstract, So usually the abstracts are prepared and submitted to the system, Congress system, many months ahead of the Congress, many months. So we are now in March, and we have 2 months, 2 months interval to submit our abstracts. An abstract is, as I told you, is actually a brief summary of our research. And in case of the patient advocates groups, of course, probably not be a research, but maybe it can be an initiative. One of your awareness events on the gynecological cancers, cervical or ovarian carcinoma. But this is something that you are preparing a brief summary. And it is actually, I told you, it's a marketing document for a full presentations, because after the Congress, you will finish your study and probably publish the full results and with discussions in a journal. So usually the topic of the abstract presents some data or some findings from the finished research or initiatives on the NGOs, but you don't need to finish it. As I told you, sometimes it's still an ongoing project, or it can be even your future projects that you will make something on the awareness mode of gynecological cancers, for example. So you can prepare an abstract and call everybody in the Congress that you are doing this and inviting everybody for your study. So this is how it is seen. Yeah? This is an example of an abstract. So this is how the doctors do. So it's a classical research abstract done by doctors. So it has a background and aim. It has a methods. It has a results, and it has a conclusion section. And this is an example of an abstract for a patient advocacy group. You see, you have some rules, and it is in the ESGO Congress. It is 300 words. So this is a little bit longer. So you have to shorten it, but the main headings are same. So you have a title, you have the speaker or presenters of the study, you have an introduction and background section, you have a methodology, results, and then conclusion sections. So in generally, an abstract describes very briefly the work that you want to discuss in your presentation at the conference, and therefore you have to give a concise summary of your findings. Usually, as you see in the previous slide, an abstract is very brief, very short, and it does not include pictures or diagrams, and it is not required in the abstract. So the abstracts in the ESGO Congress needs to be submitted in English, and you should use UK English spelling for your abstracts. And the deadline is for submission is Friday, May 3. So what does it mean? You have around 2 months to prepare a similar abstract like the ones that I have been showing you. There is a rule. When you submit an abstract, the Congress organizers wants to see at least one person to be present at the Congress physically. So this is so-called the presenting author, and you have to be there. So the presenting author needs to be entitled to the Engaged Travel Grant and is expected to register to the Patient Advocacy Seminar by April 26. So if you submit an abstract, this means that you will also be there physically, and you have to apply for Engaged Travel Grant. And usually, I can say you that it will be a positive motivation for you to be selected for the travel grant. The groups that has the posters or abstracts will be prioritized. So a person cannot submit unlimited number of posters. Usually, one person as a presenting author can submit a maximum 3 posters as the main author. Once they are accepted, these short ones, then you can write a longer one on a paper, and you will hang them on the poster sessions. So these presenters, the main authors, must be present and stand by their posters during their assigned sessions. So you will see that your poster will be on the hall at Tuesday and Wednesday between hours 12 to 2, and we expect the poster presenters to be beside their posters. And the abstract text, in ESGO Congress is limited to 300 words. And when you first work on a Word file, Microsoft Office Word, you can use this link, and you can every time simultaneously evaluate how many words it is, and you have to keep it in less than 300. All abbreviations, sometimes you use, you don't use SGO instead of Society of Gynaecological Oncology. So, or you can use CX for cervical carcinoma. So these are abbreviations, you know, and these abbreviations must be defined. So once you use for the first time, you would write cervical carcinoma and in the parentheses CX cancer, CA, and then in the rest of the abstract, once you define this abbreviation, you can use these abbreviations. Maximal 2 tables or maximal 2 charts or 1 table and 1 chart can be added to this small abstract. But don't forget, when you put a table or when you put a chart, then it will be, you will have a reduced number of abstract word count. So it will not be 300 words, but once you put a table, probably the system brings you to a maximum word of 200. So, but anyhow, you have at the moment for the brief abstracts, 2 table or 2 chart or 1 table and 1 chart addition on the system. And a very, very important point that before submitting the abstract, you need to contact all your co-authors. So you are writing 5 people, but you have to show them and get their involvement and comments for the abstract. So otherwise, it will be an academical problem, and the people whose name is in the abstract needs to have comments, agree on your submission of the abstract to the conference. So this is again the overview, and I told you before the upload process, you open a Word and then you start to write, get your feedbacks, finalize, and then submit after all revisions. And in the ESGO, you have at least 6 main headings that your abstract should include. This is the title, introduction and background, methodology, results, conclusion, and disclosures. Now we will go one by one how it is defined. So this is the title. So title means it's a short, specific title indicating the nature of your work, of your project, of your campaign, or of your research. So the title of the proposed paper is very important because usually there are thousands of posters, and you have to find something that you have to catch up the attention of the readers. So striking titles are very, very important. How much short, attention catching, that much success that you can achieve. So it will be good if you can limit the length of the title to more than 12 words. As a rule, in the ESGO system, you will see that the title has a maximum 50 words. But I told you, how much it's short and attention catching, then the people shows interest to your poster. The second part is the introduction and background. As you can easily understand, very briefly, you are writing that what is the goals and the background of this work, campaign, or the project. Why is it important? What is already known? You need to make a very clear statement of the topic. So like this, introduction and background. For example, ovarian carcinoma is the most lethal female cancers. However, the awareness among the public is still very low. The aim of this study, for example, is this like this. This is the introduction and background, very short, and what is known and why it is done. And then there's another part of the abstract is the methodology. Here, as the doctors, we usually define how we design this study. So we say that we are dividing the patients into 3 groups. We are doing it in a double-blind manner, and then we give this drug to group A, this drug to group B, like this. And especially for the advocacy groups, you have to write how your work is undertaken, how was the project carried out, what initiatives you have done, and did you measure something? Did you make a survey? Did you make a campaign on and monitor the TV outcomes and media outcomes, something like this. How did you do this? So this is the methodology that you are using. Then you have to define in this section. Another part is the results. So it is the number 4 section of an abstract. So it contains the data and what did you learn? What did you find and which value are your findings? For example, how many number of the patients are involved or participating number of the visitors. So you can say that you have opened a booth, for example, in the ovarian cancer day, and then 1,000 people have visited your booth. You have used this type of leaflets before the training. This was the level of education, and after the training, the level of education has risen up like this. So this is your result of your initiative. And then the fifth part, almost at the end, is the conclusion. So it's again very clearly a few lines. What is your finding? To whom your study or initiative be of use, and how will you use your results for future projects? For example, you can say that awareness is very low. However, training can improve this. We suggest, as a conclusion, to make more training activities for our countries, like this, for example. And the final part is the disclosure, which is very important. Sometimes a study can be, sponsored by some companies, or the authors of the abstract can have some conflict of interest. You can have a grant support, you can have a consultancy, membership is on some advisory councils of some companies, or speakers bureau or something like this. All of these potential conflict of interest and the source of fundings should be clearly demonstrated for each author, not only as a group, but for each author. Maybe you can have 3, the other one have no, but for each author you have to disclose that you have or you don't have any potential conflict of interest. And abstracts from these commercial entities will be considered for the ESGO Congress. However, abstracts reporting results from collaborative research conducted by independent non-company investigators, and the investigators who are employers of the commercial entities will not be accepted unless the independent investigators are included as authors. So once you finish your preliminary draft abstract, you also think about a good English. So it's a problem, sometimes a very simple problem, but it can be a reason that the people do not accept your abstract. So before submitting the abstract, it's really a good idea to have someone fluent in English to proofread the abstract. And again, don't forget that at the submission system, ESGO asks for each author the full names, their email, and their affiliations. So before going to the submission system, think about both English corrections plus the full contacts of the co-authors of your abstract. So you have to finish it too. And then you finish all, you write it, then you need editing and proofreading. Now it's time to upload it to the ESGO online system before the deadline, which was the first week of May. Please do not forget. Now, in the second part of the presentation, you will see how we can upload and submit our abstracts. So this is the ESGO system to submit the abstracts. Here is the link. When you click on the link, you will be directly forwarded to this system. All doctors, everybody, all Congress attendees, now taking the abstracts from this link. Then here, click start, your abstracts for an oral, poster, or video session. Don't forget, the deadline for this system is Friday, May the 3rd. And then once you click it, and then the system opens this page. In this page, you have to sign up and get a password. Unless you have already an account, you would need, a setup here, and a new account. And for a new account, you have to insert your data here, email, first name, surname, and then click on register section. Then once you registered, you in the system, you set a new special password for you, then you confirm it and save the password. Now you have a personal account and a password for the system. Then the system asks about you, about your personal information. So you have to fill all these sections, including your address, mobile phones. So these ones are, mandatory. And then once you finish your personal data, then you just click on the next option here. But I told you these red ones are mandatory, but the others are optional. And then, my friends, there is the system opens this page, uploading a profile photo. As you can see, it's optional, but it's nice to have your photo so that the people, can, by uploading your picture here, you agree that the photo will be used in the scientific program and the mobile applications, so that people can see who is you with your picture. But I told you this is just an option. Oh, sure. Then step 6. It is now time to upload your abstract. So you finish your personal data and now you upload your abstracts. So here, please click on this page. You just click on the abstract submission here. And then this picture will appear. Please click here, the create new abstract. So this is the system, my abstract. So you can, upload 3 abstracts for 2 abstracts. But this is when you say my abstracts, when you say you will always start like this, a new abstract, create, and you will click it. And then once you clicked, you will see this picture. You have to check here that you accept all the data security agreements. It's legally you have to do this, and then you will do apply. You will click on apply section, and then on the next page you will see the abstract body. Remember, we have the title, introduction and background, methodology, results, and conclusion. So you have to put all one by one. But you see at the first, it's written a topic. It's a mandatory field. So you have to start with clicking on this section, topics. And then you can, of course, copy paste from your Word abstract and, put here in each heading. But here you have to first select a topic. So when you click you see that the abstract topics: breast, cervical, diagnostic, endometrial carcinoma. And usually the patient advocacy groups, we have to click on miscellaneous section because the system is created like this for all the patient advocacy abstracts. Whatever your topic, either is cervical, breast, patient abstracts should be submitted to this miscellaneous section. So this point is really very important, my friends. So we have to see all patient abstracts in number 6 topic, which is miscellaneous. Then on the next step, I told you, after the topic, you start the title, introduction and background, methodology, results, and conclusion. And then from your Word abstract, you can copy and paste here. And then the next step, you see, this is the introduction, background, methodology, and the results, conclusions. So you all put. Once you finish it, here you are always seeing the limit of the word counts. You see, will be updated once you save. So after inserting these tags in the boxes from your abstracts, fill out nothing to disclose. This is also important. Of course, I told you, if you have something, a grant from a company, you have to disclose and you have to write here. Here, there is a very important note that these disclosures, I mean these red bars, are not included into the word limit of 300, but these three should be limited to 300 words, and you can easily see here how many words, verse 12, verse 12, verse 10, and then this is the total. And especially for disclosure, ESGO gives you maximum 200 words. Okay, now we did all topic, title, introduction. Here you see the tables section, and here you can see the graphs and images. I told you you have maximum 2 tables or maximum 2 charts or other graphics. But once you add the table here, this is usually reducing the number of the words allowed in your abstract text here. We don't recommend to add a table because it is first complicated and will take some of your space that you can use, and you can better show your poster presentations. How to submit an abstract is, the next step is step 14. You wrote personal data at the first. Now you have to write also your co-authors. So you have to finish, once you finish the abstract, you have to enter the names of the main author and co-authors. So you have to click here the new author section. Once you click, you start, I told you, with the presenting author information. Fill out the information again shown here. Once you finish, you have to click save, and then if you need to add a second author, a third author, a fourth author, you have to click the box here. I would like to enter an additional affiliation after setting box. Then you click save. Then you see, once you do it, I would like to enter, you have a co-author information. So for the second author now, you again fill all the system one by one. And then again, if you have a third or fourth, you have to click here and save. And the page and the system gives you the chance to enter other co-authors' informations. There is a very important title here, study group. So you see, you have entered 2 authors. That this is the principal author, and the other is the co-author. But here you see, you can also add your study group. So you can add your organization name here, the name of the patient organization, by clicking the section here. Once you click, you see the Class C study group section, and you can write your name, Women for Power, like this. And the next step is step 19. We are almost finishing how to doing it. You will be giving here an overview towards the end of the all entered information of the authors one by one. Author 1, Author 2, study group, and here you have the preview. Here, if there is something mistaken, wrongly written, then you can add it once again, the all the information. But if all is correct, then you can save and click on the next option. Once you click the next, here you will be provided again the preview of your abstract. Remember the topic, miscellaneous, title, authors, 2 authors, and their institutes as you enter the data, and then the text, introduction, methodology, results, conclusion, disclosure, nothing to disclose. Please review everything. If everything appears correctly. If something is wrong, you can go back. You can go back from here. Okay, my abstracted, and you can change it. But if everything is nice, there is no any wrongly written something, then you can move to the next page. And on the next page, you see the final submission step 404. Here you see the preferred presentation type. There are different types. As the doctors, we submit to young investigator session, video presentation session 1, oral, poster. But for all patient advocacy groups, you have to click here. You see patient seminar. So don't forget, first you click on the topics, the miscellaneous, and here at the final stage, you have to click the preferred presentation type is the patient seminar. And again, on the next 3 lines, you have to click all these box 1, box 2, box 3, and press to the continue section. Again, on the next, you see the final version here, and if everything is nice, if everything, especially for special characters, if the written language is nice and you are fine, then you just submit on, click on the submit button. Once you do this, you receive a thank you message from the system, and they send the abstract to your to your email. Here you have to check your email account. After having submitted your abstract, you will receive a confirmation email, and you will receive in this email the reference number of this abstract, blah blah blah, and you will also receive your personal user code and password. If you do not receive any email, even in your spam, please immediately contact with this web, ESGO 2019 at abstractserver.com. It happens sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes system is very crowded and there may be a problem upon submissions. Usually, once you submit your abstract, it is in a few minutes you receive this email. But if you don't receive in a few hours, you wait. Please, contact to this email address. And the next step, if after submission you want to make a correction, you did something wrong, or if you want to submit a second abstract, then again you will use your personal access code. You know the numbers, you know your password and username, and then you can do once again your final changes. All the corrections of the abstracts, including adding some co-authors, can be made again until the deadline, which is May 3. The hour is 12. You know, you submit by May 3, then ESGO Scientific Committee will come out and will review all the abstracts independently from each other. We don't know if each abstract will be accepted or not, but all will be reviewed by a committee, and the final selection will be made by this committee. If they accept your abstract, you will receive a notification of acceptance or rejection of the submitted abstracts. It will be again sent to the corresponding author email, and expected time for this is June. And you will also receive in this email of the acceptance notification the full instruction concerning the preparation and presentations. I told you this is also very important because we have a very prestigious journal, International Journal of Gynaecological Cancers, which is available all around the world, all around the libraries and the universities, and all ESGO members. So all accepted abstracts, you know, these short reviews will be published in the online supplement of this journal. What does it mean? It's not only the Congress, but even the people who cannot go to the Congress can have the chance to read your abstract and refer it and even contact with you on their studies. And this is this will be published in 10 days before the Congress, on the Congress website and on the Engage website. So you will, I told you, receive your notification in July whether your abstract has been accepted by the Engage committee. And if accepted, whether your presentation, the Engage seminar meeting, will be an oral or poster presentation. I have to say that three abstracts coming from our patient groups will have a chance to make an oral presentation. So there is an Engage committee who will work on it, and if some will be poster presentations on site, but the best three will have oral presentation. So poster presentation means you have to prepare a poster on a paper much larger with some more pictures, and you have to hang it and side by side to your poster during the coffee breaks. But if you are in the best three, and if you are selected, then you will have a chance to make an oral presentation for 5 minutes to make verbal communication with your colleagues. But these topics, of course, how to prepare this or how to prepare oral presentation is not covered in this presentation. But you will have some slides, and you can contact all these slides and learn how to prepare a poster we have previously discussed. So if you have questions regarding your abstracts or need any assistance, please contact this email. For technical questions, again, you can contact here. This both web addresses belongs to the ESGO office, Congress organizers, and there is an abstract hotline that you can call even. For information regarding the Patient Advocacy Seminar program and the registrations, of course, you should contact Engage at esgo.org. So, dear friends, thank you very much. I think meanwhile we have several questions. Am I right or no? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and the other ones can hear you too, because we have some reactions, but I don't know about the questions.
So I'm now reading about the chat option. Here I'm Elizabeth from Italy. Great. Hope you can all hear Murat. And Christina, if you want as well, please send here. Okay, I think there is no any question. Dear friends, if you have any questions, please write here on the chat section. Now I'm writing, for example. Any question? La la la.
Wait.
Yes.
We have some questions. Can you see the questions section, Murat? There is the chat, but a little bit.
I can see the chat, but I cannot see any question here.
No, there are questions in the question section, so it's kind of okay. So I will say it.
Okay,
I will read it. I can read it. Could you please explain again step 10?
Okay.
Asked Nicoletta.
So in step 10, there is abstract topics. Normally, as a doctor, your study is on breast cancer, then you select number 1. Your study is on cervical cancer, then you select number 2. Here, for the patient posters, we have to select the miscellaneous, part number 6. So that all of our posters will be together. Otherwise, we can lose our posters. One will be in breast cancer, one other in the prevention. So these are usually for doctors. But in the miscellaneous part, we will see the engage and patient posters. Is it clear now?
Hopefully. Yes, Nicoletta writes yes. Okay, Maria is asking, can an author be an abstract reviewer as well?
An author can be, of course, in the system, in the ESGO, we divide the posters to doctors. And some doctors are also authors. So centrally, which is Eva here, will send Maria your poster to some people else, and you don't have the chance to evaluate your poster. But of course, you can be a reviewer for posters that's coming from other countries and other groups. You can be a reviewer not for your own poster, but for others' posters. Is it clear now, my friend Maria?
Okay, thank you, she says. Then Caro is asking if these abstracts have to be submitted for posters or the same method for speeches.
The question is not very clear to me, but it is not for a scientific program. I mean, you can have a presentation in the patient seminar, but it's not an abstract or it is not a poster. An abstract or poster is a study that you want to inform the people, not your presentation or speech at the Congress. So I have 4 presentation or speech in the Congress, but these are not poster or these are not abstracts that we submit and bring to the Congress. But I have additional scientific studies in Turkey, and this is what we are submitting as an abstract, and we'll bring it, if accepted, as a poster. Is it clear, Shara?
Yes, she wrote that it was clear.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't see any more questions. Is there someone else who want to pose a question? If so, please do it now. Okay.
Eva, will you send the slides everybody, or will you put it on the web page? Let's inform, because the people, of course, you have to read once again.
Yeah.
You have the slides during submission. In any questions, me, Karina, here for any type of help, my friends, of course. But you should have the slides for sure.
Yeah, I will do it. They have them already. I sent them already, but I will do it once again, and I will put it online together with this.
Okay. Don't forget, here we do miscellaneous in step 10, and on the topics section, you have to here select the patient seminar. It's very important here. Topic. It should be the patient seminar. Okay.
I can see no other questions, Murat. So thank you very much.
Thank you, my dearest friends.
Good night.
See you.
Good night.
Goodbye. Good night. Good night.